House is now considering an emergency aid package for Americans affected by coronavirus. It would include things like paid sick leave, free testing, and help for food security programs. Today, Senate Republicans insisted they would not pass any emergency legislation until after the recess. Senator Lamar Alexander, close ally, Republican leader Mitch McConnell, told reporters, quote, "The Senate will act when we come back and we have a clearer idea of what extra steps we need to take." Given the rate of epidemic growth, that is frankly deranged. That's days from now. But then hours later, Mitch McConnell was forced to walk it back and cancel the recess to work on passing bipartisan legislation. The Senate did just leave for a 3-day weekend as the House right now at this very minute works out a bill. Here with me now, a U.S. senator from a state that is feeling the effects of the pandemic, Senator Jeff Merkley, Democrat of Oregon. Let me first start in your state, how things are there, what you're hearing about what the federal government should be doing.
Oh, absolutely. Well, things are getting worse. We had about 10 additional cases in the last 2 days, and obviously a lot of concern. A couple of those cases are in a veteran's home, so you start to see a very vulnerable population that might suffer a severe impact. One of the big failures is the testing operation. And just to give some sense of comparison, as of a couple days ago, we had tested 5 out of every million Americans, while South Korea had tested close to 4,000 out of every million South Koreans. And that lack of testing means we don't have a firm grip on the spread of this disease among the population. And it also means that people who want to get tested can't get tested. Their doctors are telling them, just stay home and let us know if the symptoms become worse, or you can have an appointment 1 or 2 weeks from now when we have time. That system doesn't work. So what we heard today from scientists in the administration was, we need a whole new strategy for testing based more on what South Korea has done, and that is to have people be able to go directly to a drive-up test site, get their tests, get their results within a day, not have to go through a lengthy process at a doctor's office.
You tweeted something about something that the governor of your state, Governor Brown, had asked for 9 days ago. You tweeted, Oregon Governor Brown wrote to the vice president urgently requesting masks, gowns, gloves, and other equipment to contain coronavirus. Not only has Oregon received none of that equipment, they haven't even gotten a response. No plan, no urgency, no leadership. Is that true that they never got a response?
Oh, that is correct. And so when I heard about that last night, I made it the first question this morning. They had sent a request on March 3rd, followed up on March 5th, had heard nothing. Of course, this is March 12th, a week later. As a result of raising it, we got it into the right hands of the right person at HHS. They've now connected with the strategic supply, if you will, and hopefully by tomorrow morning we'll know whether they're able to help Oregon out. But we have an urgent need in Oregon for masks, for clothing, and for gloves. And now the request seems to be in the right place, but it was in fact somehow it got lost in the bureaucracy.
The House right now is trying to work out the details of this deal. Unemployment insurance, food security, mandated free testing, paid sick leave. All these are sort of parts of that package. McConnell basically, his allies declared it dead on arrival and sent the Senate home. What do you think?
I think it's absolutely crazy. I mean, this House bill is family focused. It says, listen, the tests are going to be free, so get tested if you have any of the significant symptoms of this disease, which are a cough or a fever and aching, those 3 things. And if you get tested, then you will know whether you need to take yourself out of action, self-quarantine, if you will, for 14 days, and you'll be highly motivated to do it, and people can check in with you. But you're going to lose your pay. So we need to make sure that there's national sick leave so that you can in fact afford to stay home. We know folks are going to go to work to make their mortgage or their rent or their utilities if they're not getting paid. And this looks at other issues like providing food to families in need.
One question, though, I want to jump in there on the policy standpoint of paid sick leave. My understanding is it's a mandate for paid sick leave for employers over 500, which I think makes good policy. But it just seemed to me an argument that in a time when every business in America is going to be cash crunched, shouldn't the government just pay for that?
You know, I absolutely agree with that. That's a discussion we've had on the Senate side. That's a suggestion I put forward with my caucus, that if we can possibly modify that, the government should pick up this cost. We're going to be spending a lot of money to stimulate the economy during this moment. That's a way we can do it that helps both the families and the businesses.
In terms of the timing here, I'm not trying to sound absurd, but how is it possible that, I mean, every 24 hours changes the situation appreciably. We're walking up an exponential curve. Is the Senate just going to just chill for 3 days? Like, I just don't understand how you're going home.
No, this is unbelievable. It's absolutely it's insane that we're leaving D.C. at this moment. I mean, here we were, say, a day and a half ago talking about 14 cases in Oregon. Now we have 24. Now we have an infection that's inside a retirement home for veterans. Things are unfolding so fast in every part of the country. Each day feels like 15 major announcements occur that should affect our urgency and the policy. And Mitch McConnell is sitting on his hands for 3 days. It's unbelievable.
All right, Senator Jeff Merkley, thank you for making some time tonight.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thanks, Chris.